The roar of 5 Harley-Davidson engines shattered the Texas afternoon. Satan's Wolves motorcycle gang swept into Patriot Firearms parking lot in a symphony of chrome and leather. Their leader Razor dismounted with predatory grace. 6 feet 4 inches of pure menace, 280 pounds of scarred muscle barely contained by a studded vest. "Time to buy some new toys, boys." His voice carried the promise of violence. Incide. Elena Vasquez stood examining an archinchpreziche. At 5 feet 2 inches, she looked like a sparrow among hawks in her pale blue scrubs and white nursing shoes. Her hospital ID badge revealed trauma center credentials most wouldn't recognize. Derek Bull Crawford, the 300-pound sales associate, eyed her with contempt. "Hey lady, you lost or something? Nail salon's right across the street. This here's a man's establishment." Snickering echoed through the showroom. Elena's fingers traced the AR-15 with surgical precision. She checked the chamber with fluid motion, tested the trigger pull with unsettling familiarity. Her eyes swept the showroom in calculated patterns, automatically cataloging exits and cover positions. The Satan's Wolves erupted through the entrance like a storm front. Razor led with swagger, followed by Snake, a wiry psychopath with dead eyes and knife scars, and Diesel, whose massive frame made even Razor look modest. Bull's contempt transformed to servile enthusiasm. "Welcome to Patriot Firearms, gentlemen. What kind of firepower can I show you?" Elena continued her examination. Tommy Martinez, the 19-year-old part-timer, watched her with growing fascination. Something about her bearing triggered instincts he couldn't articulate. "Lady, this ain't Build-A-Bear workshop," Bull sneered. "Women don't need this kind of firepower." Elena reached for a restricted military catalog. "I'd like to see your NATO specification inventory. Specifically anything chambered in 7.62 NATO with match-grade ammunition capable of maintaining supersonic velocity past 800 meters. Snake laughed. "Listen to this, trying to sound all tactical." Elena responded with casual expertise. "For optimal long-range performance, you'd want a ballistic coefficient above 0.57, preferably with grain weights between 168 and 175 to maintain stability through transonic transition." Marcus Rodriguez, a weathered Army veteran browsing nearby, paid closer attention. That wasn't civilian knowledge. Razor's massive frame cast a shadow over Elena. "Little girl, you're starting to seriously piss me off. Put the toy down and get the hell out." His hand moved to her shoulder. Elena's posture shifted subtly, weight redistributing, shoulders squaring. When she turned to face Razor, something in her eyes made him take an involuntary half-step back. "I'm not looking for trouble, just trying to make a legitimate purchase." She gestured toward his holstered Glock 19. "Though your firing pin's probably worn past service specifications. That model's notorious for light primer strikes after approximately 10,000 rounds." "How the hell do you know that?" Razor demanded. "Professional experience," Elena replied. Her sleeve rode up, revealing surgical scars and geometric patterns along her forearm. Too precise, too systematic to be accidental. Bull decided to reassert dominance. "Listen here, sweetheart." He grabbed an AK-47, chambering around before pointing it at Elena. "Maybe this will help you understand you don't belong here." Elena went perfectly still, her breathing controlled, eyes focusing with the 1,000-yard stare of someone who'd faced death repeatedly. Marcus recognized that expression from Kandahar. She wasn't panicking. She was planning. $10,000 says this little nurse can't hit a moving target at 50 yards, Razor announced. "Put your money where your mouth is." Elena walked toward the range area, selecting a target and programming it for random movement at precisely 50 yards. Razor's patience snapped. His hand shot out to grab her hair. "Time for you to learn some respect." Snake lunged forward, switchblade appearing. Diesel cracked his knuckles. The gang spread out. Elena's response defied every expectation. In 0.3 seconds, her left hand controlled Razor's wrist while her right stripped his Glock with fluid precision. The disarming technique was impossibly fast. Snake charged. Elena's single strike to his solar plexus dropped him gasping. His knife clattered away. The gang froze, understanding they'd encountered something beyond ordinary. Left hand only, Elena announced quietly. Bull's laughter rolled through the store. Little Miss Nurse thinks she's Annie Oakley. But Elena's preparation ritual suggested something different. She examined the rifle with methodical precision, her left hand finding the grip with unsettling familiarity. When she raised the weapon, Marcus felt recognition crash over him. He'd seen that exact positioning in classified briefings about special operations units. Elena's first shot rang out with crisp authority, finding dead center on the moving target. The second shot followed immediately, then a third. 15 rounds traced the unmistakable shape of a skull and crossbones with mathematical precision. When the smoke cleared, silence was absolute. Tommy's phone had captured every shot. Razor stared in disbelief. What the hell was that? Marcus stepped forward. Ma'am, where exactly did you learn to shoot like that? Elena began methodically stripping down 5 firearms simultaneously: an AK-47, Glock 19, Remington 870, and Barrett M82. 42 seconds, she announced. When the stopwatch hit exactly 42 seconds, every firearm lay completely field-stripped in perfect military arrangement. 47, Elena said softly. That's how many I've treated in trauma situations involving high-velocity projectiles. She met Marcus' eyes. Most of them were my responsibility, not my patients. Heavy footsteps approached from outside. Commander James Harrison stepped through the door in dress blues, chest decorated with ribbons telling stories of classified conflicts. At 58, he carried himself with ramrod posture. His gaze fell on the target pattern, and recognition flooded his consciousness. Then his eyes found Elena. Phantom grip technique, he whispered. His eyes met Elena's. Ghost 7. Good God, they told us you were killed in action 3 years ago during Operation Nightfall. Sometimes being dead is the only way to stay alive, Commander, Elena replied. Operation Nightshade required certain sacrifices. Harrison snapped to attention, hand flying to his forehead. Ghost 7 confirmed alive and operational. All personnel, attention. You are in the presence of a Medal of Honor recipient. Classified ceremony. Level Black operations. The effect was electric. Bull's face went ashen. Razor and his gang backed away. 47 confirmed eliminations across 6 classified operations. Harrison continued. 0 civilian casualties. Operation Nightshade, Operation Silent Thunder, Operation Ghost Walker, Operation Dark Phoenix, Operation Blood Moon, Operation Final Curtain. Marcus stepped forward. Ma'am, 43 members of my battalion came through your trauma unit during Kandahar deployment. Every single one survived because you knew exactly where to cut. Bull's knees hit concrete. Please, I didn't know. You didn't know because operational security required it, Elena said quietly. The most effective deep cover is becoming exactly what people expect to see. Razor found his voice. How do we make this right? You make it right by learning from this, Elena said. By understanding that every person might be carrying burdens you can't imagine. Elena saved more American lives than any single operator in history, Harrison announced. She accomplished this while maintaining cover so deep her own government couldn't acknowledge her existence. Tommy's video spread across the internet with viral velocity. Within hours, millions of views poured in from military personnel worldwide. Bull was terminated by evening. Razor and Satan's Wolves saw their profiles updated with classifications that destroyed their credibility. Within 72 hours, Razor would abandon Texas entirely. The Pentagon wants you back, Harrison said quietly. Operation Silent Thunder is being reactivated. They need your specific skill set. I chose to heal, James, Elena replied. I've seen enough death. Now I just want to save lives. Harrison nodded. The offer stands indefinitely. Marcus stepped forward. Ma'am, I operate a tactical training academy. If you want to share your knowledge without returning to active status, I'd be honored to have you on staff. Tommy approached nervously. Would you consider teaching specialized courses here for women and others who feel intimidated? Real tactical skills. Women's tactical training with real-world applications, Elena said slowly, voice gaining strength. Not just marksmanship, but comprehensive skills, situational awareness, threat assessment, defensive positioning. The Ghost 7 Foundation, Harrison suggested. Supporting female veterans, teaching civilian women real survival skills. Elena's smile was genuinely happy. I like the sound of that very much. As excitement settled, the store owner appeared. Ma'am, anything you want is yours without charge. If you're serious about training courses, we'd be honored to host them. I'll need to develop comprehensive curriculum, Elena said. Real tactical instruction, how to think and operate like someone who might not come home from every encounter. As Elena prepared to leave, Harrison approached with 2 sealed envelopes. Pentagon wants an answer within 72 hours. And this one's from Dallas Presbyterian Hospital. Head of Trauma Surgery. Your own unit. Complete autonomy. What would you choose? Elena asked. I'd choose the option that lets you sleep without nightmares, Harrison said. We've given enough to the darkness. Maybe it's time to choose the light. 3 weeks later, Elena stood in Dallas Presbyterian's break room, both envelopes still unopened. Her phone buzzed with a text from Harrison. Your country needs you now more than ever. Elena picked up her white medical coat. She wrote across the Pentagon envelope, I choose to heal rather than harm. Then she walked through the trauma bay doors where a gunshot victim needed someone who understood both violence and repair. But somewhere in a classified Pentagon file, her name remains flagged as active, waiting for the day when Ghost 7 might be needed again. The file includes Harrison's note. Asset chose healing over hunting, but retains all capabilities. Every warrior faces the same choice, to keep fighting wars that never end, or start healing the wounds they leave behind. Elena chose her battlefield. The Ghost 7 Foundation became her new mission, transforming skills forged in shadows into tools for protection and empowerment. In hospital corridors and training facilities, she became proof that the most dangerous warriors are often those who choose mercy over vengeance. Because sometimes the greatest weapon against darkness isn't advanced firearms or classified techniques, but the steady hands of someone who knows how to put broken things back together and make them stronger than before.